Hi guys, welcome back to the LOR report. Today I am with the world champion Talpinator. How are you doing? How has it been since you won the world title?
It's something. Hi, everybody. It's something incredible. I can't realize what I have done. I rewatched the games yesterday, and I got emotionated every time.
Yeah, I bet it's good that you can look back at the games on the stream and see how you did. Because I bet there's moments where you look to yourself and go, "Oh, I could have done this better," or "I played this one perfectly." How does it feel that you can look back at these games now?
Oh, I rewatched and I think I play really well. There are not a lot of mistakes, maybe some different lines, but it all was kind of perfect.
Well, you won the world championship, so you definitely did something right. So overall, how did you find the tournament? Did you find it more difficult than you expected to, or was it very comfortable as you went through the tournament?
I think the tournament was really difficult because the quality of players was really high because of the format. I think the format it's really well done by Riot, and uh, the most strongest players are rewarded and qualified
Yeah,
in different ways.
yeah, definitely. We definitely saw some of the best players out of the entire world at that tournament. The amount of plays that people were doing, that you could see the lines that some people in chat just weren't looking at completely, and they managed to show that they're meant to be there. They deserved that spot.
Yes, I was the sixth on the table in the yearly points, so my qualification was not easy at much.
Yeah, you
I have
just scraped it
like
through.
I have like 1 points different with Sonic Holic and Broken Ball.
Yeah, it was very, very
Other
close for
amazing
everyone.
players from EU.
Yeah, definitely. So moving on to your decks, you brought Jananila, you brought Elder Dragon Nora, and you brought Morgana Riven. And it's very you brought decks that not really many people brought. You were the only person to bring a Bilgewater deck, I think. There was maybe one other deck, but like you were the only person to bring Jananila, and you were the only person to bring. There was one other person that brought Morgana Riven. What was it about these two decks that you thought I'm gonna play these rather than the other decks that people were playing?
I think Giannanira was a deck that some people don't remind it, and I'm tested it in ladder before Worlds, and playing in the last two opens in Eternal format and in the standard format, and I think the power level of the deck was really high. That it's not like 2 3 months ago when there wasn't the nerf that there is now. But Janna is a champion that it's not. It's important to level for sure, but they give uh, they give you the value without leveled. It's important to stay in the board and you get the discounted every time. And for this kind of deck, it's something really strange.
Yeah, you want to get those early discounts down because you get 3 discounts with every level 1 Janna draw, the first 3 cards you draw. So we saw throughout your games that you were taking advantage of that. You even managed to get your Janna flipped in one of the games, and you won with the cold shot, which was a very interesting way to win. I don't think many people would have expected a cold shot win.
Yeah, that's was a really likely variant of events that comes, but there were a lot of games that I wasn't this likely, and this I could find the lethal in other ways.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely had the advantage with most of the games. I think there's an element of luck as well. Giving good cards versus Chenia, who unfortunately his Poro King ran away with all of the snacks.
And it's the problem I think of the deck. When I check the lineups, the Korean lineups, because J1 bring it the same with some different touch. I think Fitz-Yumi and Poro King are decks that are really good against his good matchups. But sometimes these kind of decks can draw the important cards, and the power level of the deck became so behind.
Yeah, definitely. We saw it with his draws. He draw Zalani at like turn 9, and it was still a 2-2. And everyone in chat was like, there's no way he's going to come back from this game. Not when you've got a 2-2 Zalani on turn 9. But it doesn't discredit anything that you've done. You played it absolutely flawlessly each game. And that's why you're here. You went into the losers bracket after losing to, I think it was losing to JO1 you lost to, right?
No, Jerzino.
Oh, Jerazino, yeah. And then from that point, you were like a train. Once you started, you did not stop. You went I think it was 2-0, 2-0, 2-1, 2-0, and then in the finals you went to 2-0 as well. You did not stop.
It was like a 10-1 performance in the last games. That's crazy for LoR.
Yeah,
in this kind of match, because winning 2-1 is more usual.
Yeah, definitely. So was there anyone in particular in the tournament that you were scared to face, whether it be because you knew they were a very good player, or the fact that they had a lineup that you were scared of?
All the players are really strong, so I'm scared at all of everyone. But when I see the bracket of day 2, I see my first opponent was Cass. Cass, it's a really strong player. I know him from seasonals and ladder, and I write him, in the first round, find you. That's really scary.
Yeah, two EU players as well, going head to head.
Yeah, another player was Runeterra. Runeterra had a really scary lineup for me with 3 decks that I can't practice with them in the ladder or in the scrim. Him cooking, he cooks a lot with that deck. It was a ramp, was a Senna Mordekaiser. Senna Mordekaiser, it's a deck that is really difficult to play against, because when Senna is on the board, you have to wait. You can't be really proactive, because they can do spell in fast speed, like Castigate. But if you pass so much time, the deck give you a lot of resources, and making unwinnable for you, like Rekindler, the Deathless Rekindler.
Yeah, once you it's very difficult to deal with those decks, like you said. If you can't just go, I'm going to answer this, because they'll always be able to give those slow spells that are normally very powerful. Crumble, Castigate, Ruination, if they run one of Ruination, some of them did. They can just completely wipe you out, so it is very smart to play slow, take your time with it. And you beat him 2-1, so I don't think we managed to see that game. So how was that very last game? Was that a close game 3? Or...
It was really close. I think it was. I remember that it was the game 3, and 3 minutes on the clock remaining, and I go all in with lethal Morgana Riven against Senna, and I don't have more cards in hand, and he played like 3-4 spells in the stacks with Senna leveled, but the last my two cards was the spell shield and the Targon Tellstones that gives me the win.
Yep. So moving on from the games that you took part in, winning this tournament, this Worlds, is a bit different because you and Chenia both get to now design a card. You get to design a follower, and Chenia gets to design a spell. So the question is, without telling us exactly what you want, what kind of archetype would you like to create a card for, and why is the reason for that?
I think I go for an aggro card, maybe, because I started playing LOR with an aggro card. It's not really easy to design an aggro card that is not broken or playable. That's something really difficult. So I think the regions could be Noxus, PNZ, maybe.
Yeah. Aggro cards are one of those ones where they're either very strong and you'll always see them, or you'll never see them at all. Because we had the rear guard turn from a 3-2 to a 3-1, and he was just never played. I don't know if you were playing during that time, but like that was a card where they were like, oh yeah, no, we need to nerf aggro in some way, and they killed. But they in theory they killed the card. It just was like no one ever played it anymore.
Yes, it's difficult to balance. Yeah, the aggro cards, like the pigeon nerf was one of the best nerf, I think, because he seems play likely after the nerf.
Yeah, so the pigeon went from being just infinitely scaling and keeping its health to just a temporary health buff, and it still sees play now. It's not as common because it's not as strong as it used to be, but it definitely does see play after the nerf. And so my final question for you is, what are your future plans for LOR? Are you going to consider doing some content creation or live streams in the future? Or are you just going to stick to participating in Opens, and maybe we'll see you back in next year's Worlds if you're invited?
I think I will stream sometimes. I don't know now if I can do this every day. I was streaming before the became world champion, and sometime, and I still compete in the tournaments. That's something that I really like. Open, seasonal, and if I got invited for Worlds for next year, I'm so happy.
Well, it happened with Aragorn. Maybe there's a precedent there of the world champion can always return, because it would be nice to see you try and claim back that title. Maybe, like you say, you like aggro, so maybe there's an aggro meta next Worlds, and you can be like, oh, this is my time, and you can take everyone cleanly out.
For sure, I will prepare this year with my team, with my friends, and the teams. Because the preparation is the most important thing. When you arrive in the tournament, you have to play well.
Yeah, you need to play well. You need a bit of luck in there to make sure you get the good draws, and with little to no misplays as well.
Yes, their energy is a factor that you have to allow to losing some games. But you have not to do mistakes. Mistakes happens to everyone.
Definitely. Well, that's all the time we have for the interview. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to do this. It's much appreciated from my end. And I'll hope to see you again in future Opens. Maybe you can, even if you potentially get that invite to Worlds, maybe you can win a Runeterra Open this year. Or, well, next year now. And then we can... you can get invited through that way as well.
Yeah, so that's an achievement. I don't have an achievement with opens or season, so uh, that's something that I want to have, and I will try next year for sure. Thanks
Perfect.
for the interview.
Yes, thank you very much.